Good morning, Southern Idaho, and thank you very much for tuning here to Rise and Shine for an all-new Tasty Tuesday. If you're just joining us, it is now 30 minutes past the top of the hour, so we'll take a look at our local news one more time this morning. A freshman from Twin Falls High School has passed away following a weekend ski accident. A group of 10 students were at Soldier Mountain skiing on Saturday when the accident occurred. And while this situation is nothing other than a tragedy, moving forward, the Twin Falls School District is hoping they can help students and staff to cope and heal. Ariel Harrison has more. A Twin Falls family is without a home following a cooking accident. The owner told authorities that she briefly left the kitchen, and by the time she got back, the room was covered in flames. Engines from 3 different stations responded to the fire, and it was under control in about an hour. Officials say the house was a total loss, but no injuries have been reported. While continuing with local news, Mountain Rides is celebrating its new South facility in Bellevue with a ribbon-cutting ceremony for the newly finished building. The $1.8 million project was finished ahead of schedule and below budget. It incorporates enough storage for 6 to 7 buses, supports bus maintenance and washing, and is also a park and ride for bus users. Jerome School District is switching from a trimester to semester school year. That's our final story this morning in local news, as Nicole Baker has a look at the pros and cons of the transition and some students' reaction. Good morning, Southern Idaho, and thank you very much for tuning in to Rise and Shine. If you're just joining us, it's now 30 minutes past the top of the hour. So we'll take another look at local headlines this morning. The top story: family and friends gathered in Twin Falls Reformed Church for Taylor Biggs Memorial on Saturday afternoon. Biggs died last weekend after a ski accident at Soldier Mountain. Her loved ones described her as passionate, motivated, and a friend anyone would love to have. Biggs was a freshman at Twin Falls High School. Students and administration say that her smile was contagious through the school, but it's her loving spirit that they'll miss the most. And some lighter news in honor of yesterday's big game. We wanted to see how you celebrated Super Bowl Sunday. Nicole Baker takes us through the streets of Twin Falls to see a few parties and who fans were rooting for. Finally, in local news this morning, junior colleges like the College of Southern Idaho don't just serve an opportunity to play sports at a higher level, but a gateway between high school and 4-year universities. We sat down with coaches Heidi Cartiser and Randy Rogers, who explained their expectations of every athlete who steps foot at CSI. Good morning, Southern Idaho, and thank you very much for tuning in to Rise and Shine this Thursday morning. If you're just joining us, it's now 30 minutes past the top of the hour, so we'll take another look at local news. Our top story this morning: new information about the investigation into that suspicious death from Tuesday. The man found dead at a home at 7th Avenue North in Twin Falls has been identified as 38-year-old Joseph Lee Molman. Well, moving over to national news now this morning, Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders will face off in their 5th Democratic debate tonight from New Hampshire, which holds the nation's first primary next week. On Wednesday, the candidates traded jabs over their progressive values during a town hall event. Over on the Republican side, Donald Trump and Ted Cruz remain locked in a war of words following Trump's second-place finish in the Iowa caucuses. Florida Governor Rick Scott addresses the public today amid growing concerns about the Zika virus. On Wednesday, Governor Scott declared a health emergency in 4 counties after at least 9 cases of mosquito-borne viruses were detected in the state. Health officials in Texas are still evaluating the first known case of the virus transmitted in the U.S. through sex. And a sexual assault case against Bill Cosby in Pennsylvania moves forward. Back in December, Cosby was arrested and charged with drugging and assaulting a former Temple University employee at his suburban Philadelphia home in 2004. After a 2-day marathon hearing, a judge swept aside claims that a previous district attorney had granted the comedian immunity against prosecution a decade ago. Well, it's the Super Bowl's golden anniversary, and to celebrate the Big 5-0, America's biggest game is set to make a whole lot of money. And today's Consumer Watch, Mary Maloney breaks down the Super Bowl budget.